going on, guys? Welcome back to the second episode of the Offer Owner Spotlight series, which is a series where I'm bringing in people from our community or just other communities I'm a part of to interview them and put them in the spotlight to highlight some of the things they're doing in their business, whether they're publishing deals, they're actually owning their own offer, whatever it looks like. I thought it'd be really cool to take the spotlight off of all the gurus just flexing and not really showing you everything and putting it on the people who are actually doing stuff, implementing it, and really moving the needle and telling their story. So today, we have a special guest, Maria, here, which I'm super excited to have on. Maria, thank you for being here. I'm super excited to share your story.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here. Yay.
Awesome. Let's do this. Okay, so walk me through. What are you doing right now? How many offers are you working on? What does your involvement in those offers look like? Just give some context, and we'll talk about the steps you took to get to that point.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. So I'm working on 3 offers. One actually I'm launching later today about kind of reviving, kind of doing ads, like an ads agency thing. But that's a small amount of my time. The bigger amount of time is 2 other offers with as a publisher, because I was like a kind of a creative consultant beforehand doing ads and marketing strategy for some clients. And fast forward, like that was 3 years ago, fast forward 3 years later, my client came to me and said, why don't we just joint venture? Because every time I work with you, I make money. So the funnels kind of I helped create for her 3 years ago. We've sort of just like put jet fuel on it now. So one of them's actually made over 6 figures, just the low ticket stuff, not including high ticket, in the last year, 12 months. And then we're launching a second one called the Little Black Book of Boutique Suppliers. I don't mind sharing the niche on this one because like she's quite well
Yeah,
known because she's got such success
people have seen
records.
it.
And we use a lot of video ads for our stuff for pre-framing and indoctrination. So I don't think so anyone can just, copy our
Yeah,
funnel and
it's
copy
all
our
good.
stuff. So yeah.
Awesome. Publishing, for some people who don't know what that is, or I know
Yeah.
everyone, like for me, publishing, it looks so different. Like there's so different approaches. I have my way of explaining it. How do you explain it? And then like, what do you like about the publishing model and the way that you do it that makes
Yeah.
it more exciting to work with what some could
Mhm.
call clients, what do you like about it? How do you describe it?
Yeah. So the simple solution is almost like when in the old days, before the internet existed, everyone wanted to have a book published. So they did all the work writing the book, and it's their knowledge and expertise. And yet they'd have to go to a big publishing company, and they would probably take 80% of the profits or more, the publishing company, right? And publish the book to their network because they had that working capital to go do that. So the regular Jill or Joe can publish a book. Fast forward now to the internet age, we can do that online, like globally with the internet, where someone has an expertise that maybe is not yours, but you can actually help them package it up and not just get charged, which I used to do, a consulting monthly fee or retainer, and you never know where they're going to drop you the next month or not. You're always feast or famine. Um, but you can then negotiate a percentage of either the sales or profits. In my case, this particular one, I sort of feel like I'm almost like a joint venture, like a venture capitalist, if you will, where it's a 50-50 true joint venture. And please know, if you're listening to this now, any percentage is good, right? Like even if you just negotiate 3% something, because when I was just a consultant doing ads and marketing strategy for another client, I built a funnel for them, and just that funnel, not including the ascension to their $1,000 offer and $15,000 mastermind, just that funnel in the last 3 years has made $1 million. And the spotlight happened when the pun on the word spotlight, because this is the spotlight, but the spotlight was like, I looked at that number, right, in ClickFunnels, and like, oh my God, they've made $1 million with a $37 front end offer, $17 order bump, and then there was upsell 1, upsell 2, which is not much higher. But I'm like, oh my God, if I had even just negotiated 5% or 3% of those sales, that would be recurring revenue with the intellectual property that you did anyway. So yeah, so that's why now I love it. I love also, I'm just gonna, everyone, again, it's an
Yeah.
art to negotiate the deal, but in my
Yeah.
case, I feel I don't have the risk because also all the ad spend and everything and costs of the software, costs of, like, we have a
Hmm.
VA from the Philippines, is on her credit card.
Mm,
So
yeah.
I also am not taking the risk. And I know that's different because some people might be coming and take the risk in these type of deals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I was gonna ask you, like, what are you responsible for and what is she responsible for? Because I know for a lot of deals, all the deals I've done so far, I put usually they're covering like the ads, and then instead of me putting on some like crazy retainer up front or anything like that, I come in and I'm like, hey, give me ownership and equity. You're already gonna be spending the ads, but just keep spending money on the ads and don't give that to me yet. Give me the percentage because I know I can make more money off that later. And I remember even when like I did it, I would like cancel my retainer, and some people were like, "Hey, put this in the ads so I can make more money later." So,
Well, that's
what are
cool.
you responsible for
That's cool.
in this picture? Like, what do you handle?
Yeah, so definitely the ads because I've been doing ads. Frank Kern taught me in 2012 how to do ads when before where there was a pixel, Josh, if you could believe that.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
so yeah, ads and funnels, like I can kind of drive around click funnels like a Ferrari type thing. And admittedly, my funnels aren't pretty. Like a lot of times they're kind of ugly, but they convert, or well, I hope they convert. I'm gonna say, like as we talked before we hit record, there is a roller coaster each day, right? But
Yep.
that and also as we started working together, it's been over 6 months now. I also help teach stuff because we probably all have had side hustles. I also started a Shopify e-commerce store in the yoga niche and got it to $1,000 a
Dang.
day before selling it. Yeah. So I kind of help teach as well. And mindset is probably a big one since I've been around for a while. I just seen it all. So I really help because we help people go from 0 to 1 to start their own boutique. Mindset is the crucial thing so they don't give up and they keep
Yep.
at it.
Yep. For sure. What do you hate most about like handling? What's the one thing you don't like being responsible for that you've outsourced in publishing people or just marketing? Like, is there anything where you're like,
Yeah.
I'm not touching that? Like,
Yeah,
what's that
yeah,
one thing?
yeah. Well, on that strength profiles thing, I'm a creator, right? And then my
Okay. Yep.
secondary is mechanic, but I hate finances and reporting. I
Okay.
really hate it.
Yeah.
So like I found from a friend of mine was in another program that had a really good tracking sheet for sales calls and stuff and percentage close, cash collected, all that stuff. So I just gave her that and said, okay, you make sure it's just all filled out. So then we can look at it every week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say the financial reporting, which actually is the kiss of death if you're not paying attention to it. I'll be honest
True.
with you on that.
That's
Um,
true.
but I'm bad at that. So thankfully she's really good at that. She's a lord, which I got to be careful about. She's
Oh,
a lord on the
she's gonna
strength
take over.
profiles.
Just kidding.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
and
she's
she's
gonna
very
take
good at
over.
and very good at managing people. I'm too nice. Like I just being fully vulnerable here. Like I
Yeah.
sometimes don't bring the boundaries up. And she's also been an entrepreneur that's made millions, lost millions in other businesses, even franchises, like non-internet stuff, like a car repair company.
Dang.
So she's very good at managing people too, and also treating them really well.
Mm.
So some of the hard decisions as well. I'm glad she's in charge of.
Yeah, for sure. No, I get that. How did so with this client? I know some people may be wondering. It's like, how did you find this? Like, how did the relationship start with the person you published?
Yeah.
You said like it kind of turned like a JV deal. What was like the transition, the progression for you?
Yeah, what happened is, about for the last like probably 6 years ago or so, I kind of had like an ads marketing boutique agency. Like it was just me and one other person. So it wasn't like this
Mm.
huge thing. Like this is after I worked for a bigger ad agency, and where we had the clients like Amy Porterfield and
Yeah.
Mel Robbins and some big names. So she found me through first a referral, and then also because I was sort of in the niche that she was in because I was bragging about my client's success, the one that made $1 million, right? So she's like, okay, how can you help me? And she didn't have a course at the time. So I helped her
Yeah.
create a course, and then we helped build her list up, and then we created we launched her through a challenge because that's what I kind of used to do a lot is
Yeah.
challenges. And through that, then we used the money collected from that into a low ticket funnel. And so we just loved working together. And then about 6, 7 months ago, she was like, why don't we just, um, you know, whenever whenever we do stuff together, like we really are a good pairing, right?
Yeah.
And she's
Yeah.
just like, we make more money. So why don't you just come on more involvement as a
Nice.
partner? So yeah.
So is it, she made the decision. She saw the value in it, and
Yeah.
presented the opportunity to you. That's awesome.
And I was sort of wanting it. Like I think it was right around when I also joined Allen's on
Hmm.
Nothing Held Back Pro or Plus. And I was seeing all the things about the publishing model and about CMO role taking percentages. So it was on my mind. And you know that whole thing about the mindset, like if
Yeah.
you vision it, it'll the universe brings it to you or God brings it to
Yeah.
you.
The intent.
And
Yep.
yeah, and I think that's also maybe what happened because we had
Hmm.
similar past too, because about a year and a half ago, her husband almost died of a heart attack and they had to fly
Wow.
him into Dallas airport, everything in the helicopter. And so her business was kind of on hold for a while. And she said, you know, if it wasn't for you making that low ticket funnel for me, Maria, I don't know where our family would have been because that was still
Wow.
bringing in, you know, about 15K a month in sales just on automatic. And so what happened is that because I told you before we hit record, like my dad, you know, got sick and passed away like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So we both kind of had challenges in the last
Yeah.
few
Yeah.
years with letting the business just kind of take a second priority to our family.
Yeah.
And so it was just maybe just perfect timing as well. I'm also getting like chills now as I talk about it. Actually, it's kind of cool.
That's awesome. That is
Yeah.
so cool. I love that. So before you moved to like a JV deal, how was she paying you? And then switching to percentage ship, taking ownership, like what does that look like? How did you price that percentage ship? And then like,
Yeah,
do you notice an increase or?
yeah, definitely an increase. And also like
Yeah.
I'm all in, right? Because
Yeah.
it's
True.
also equity too. And we
Same.
have AI software that we're going to start developing just for boutique owners. And we've already got the domain for it. It should launch in about a month. We're just trying to decide about business model. Is that going to be $7 a
Yeah.
month or is it going to be more or a bonus when you buy the
How,
high ticket thing? Good.
how did it change like switching when you were just working off one off for her to JV? How
Yeah.
did it change your excitement for working on that project or just like the days where maybe things are slower? Did it like make things better because you knew you owned it? Like what did it
Yes.
shift mindset wise? Tell me about that.
Huge. And the quick answer to the numbers too, like I
Mhm.
charge anywhere from 2,500 to 5,000 a month to plus 10% of ad spend. It was the traditional, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
agency. So now moving forward, the mindset was that, okay, like I own this too, like this asset that we're creating
Yeah.
and you can harvest now year after year of the list, right? Because these buyers, some of them don't ascend now could have sent 6 months, a year out, right? And so it just feels I've always wanted ownership. You know,
Mm.
it's huge, and so we get excited then. Like every morning we touch base, right? And we'll come up with different ideas. Just it's more. I feel it's more collaborative. Whereas you know, for your agency, it's like you got to keep your scope strong. Like,
Yeah.
okay, we're gonna have 2 meetings a
True.
month. You're gonna get weekly reports, you know,
Yeah.
but you can't just call me all the time unless you want to pay me a lot more, you know. So
Yeah.
whereas now it's totally fine and there's excitement. Like last night we made $800 day with the one funnel that we restarted ads to and it's like she sent me the snapshot at 9 o'clock and normally I wouldn't look at my text past, you know, 8 p.m. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, this is so cool. You know, so like because you feel it's part yours. I think that's
Yeah, it's
is a
like yours.
huge difference. Yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool. That's cool. Okay, so moving forward then, what's your plan? Like, are you gonna try to go after more publishing deals, work on your own stuff? Also, like, even with this client that you have now, how many offers are you launching for her? Like, are you guys doing one every single month? Like, what
No,
is that?
we
The
originally
plan with
had that
that?
goal. We originally had that goal because I saw that you were doing the catalog model and like
Yeah.
going like a lot out. And I remember I even texted you.
It's
I
hard.
I don't know. I even messaged you. I said, "Where do you
Yeah.
get all this energy from?"
It's gone now. The winner is it doesn't last long.
Yeah. So we originally had this goal, like you know, grandiose goal, one a month. But then we just realized, like, we did the stats, and the data nerds will love this. And this is again going about the finance stuff because honestly, we weren't as good at analyzing our data at first,
Mm,
but literally a month and a half ago. So originally we're going to launch. We already have a second kind of funnel going, that like
yep,
that little black book. We were going to launch one a month, and
yep,
when we looked at the numbers of the main one, we have, you know, to some people, maybe you don't think it's a lot, but we have a 3 point over the last like 6 months,
yep.
3.5% conversion of cold traffic through ads.
Mhm.
$125 average order value. And it ranges
Yep.
sometimes 110. Today, right now it's 160. And we have a 82 cents cost per click through cold traffic to the site. Um, and 30, this is the number that got me, which I was hidden and I had no clue. And I'm like, oh my God, why aren't we putting all cylinders on this funnel then? 33.5% of the buyers are
Yep.
converting to our $1,000 offer. That's
Oh,
scalable.
geez.
Yes, yes.
What's your
And
what's your what's your CPA average, like
um,
life, or
It,
would you
it
say?
ranges, honestly, it ranges
Yeah.
between, because like sometimes it's like $29. Hoo-hoo, let's have a party.
Yeah. What's
And
like
like,
your 7 day window, your recent 7 or 3 day?
it'll range, it still ranges. I would say a month
Yeah.
window is then we're happy with about $80. Our
Still,
thresh,
yeah.
yeah, our threshold is about $100.
Yeah.
When I say threshold, I mean like sometimes we'll turn ads off. If we think if the click-through rate, unique click-through rate to the site is looking still really good, but no purchases yet, we will still
Yeah.
let it run to maybe 250. And
Yep.
also we have a really good retargeting and abandoned cart, as I was mentioning, process in place
Yep.
now. So yeah, when we saw those stats, we actually did a whole calculator on it, and have a little customer journey ladder now with a calculator, and so cool.
Yeah.
So we pumped in these numbers. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. How come? And so now it's more like, instead of maybe a new funnel, how
Yeah.
about new traffic source like YouTube? We're not doing YouTube yet, and I know our customers on YouTube.
Yeah.
Pinterest kind of sucks for us, even though we're getting a lot on Pinterest and we have a VA doing it, but I don't think it's really
Is it
converting. But yeah,
organic? Are you doing organic on Pinterest? Or is it
yes, all
paid?
organic.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what the VA
And
is doing.
yeah, yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Because I've heard it, especially the e-com space, like some people try to mess with it, but it's
yeah,
always, I don't know, if the data or like their pixel tracking, it's hard to tell, or that's what I've heard through things. But
yeah.
yeah. Okay. That's crazy though, because like that's a 30. So your front end to a back end, just people they understand they're watching it. That means every front end buyer. So 30%
Yeah.
of a front end buyer, what does the front end product cost?
We just raised it 27. It was 20. It's
So
27.
it's $27. So $27 front end buyer,
Yep.
30% of those turn into a $1,000 buyer.
Yeah, within a 2-month period.
Yeah,
Yes.
but still, that means meaning if your CPA is then 80, so it's eighty
Yeah.
dollars to acquire that person. You
Yeah.
get so 10 people, it costs you $800.
Yeah.
And then then 30% of those, that's almost like 2,200 profit over 2 months. So but that you could just keep scaling it up. Like you could go so far into the
Yeah.
negative.
Yeah. And so trust me, like even though I think I'm good at ads, like I'm humble enough to buy other ad products. I'm like, how
Oh
can we
yeah.
solve this problem of scaling?
Yeah,
and
true. Ramping it
but
up.
but I will tell you what helps that conversion rate of 33.5%, just so everyone, I want to be fully transparent here. Most of them don't pay the $1,000 full pay. We actually installed a $25 a week payment flow. So actually we
Mm,
get 1,200 over time, but
yep.
80% of our people stick. So they don't
Yeah.
stop after 2 months and stop their payments. We have
Yeah.
seen a trend of 80% stay in it. So that helps. We have a firm, we have a Klarna, which allows people to
Yeah.
finance.
What's with the firm? So if people aren't watching, a firm is obviously like the financing option. You see a lot of
Yeah,
Shopify stores or whatever.
yeah.
How have you gotten it approved for an educational based product, or is this a physical product? Because I've noticed some people have got issues getting a
Oh,
firm on a digital product,
yeah,
or is that pretty
we,
easy?
yeah, Karina did that, to be honest, because she's the mechanic, but
Okay.
but it seemed pretty easy.
Yeah.
And we're looking into now through another mentorship I'm in. He said, I'm going to see if these guys are still doing this. We almost, when you look at our numbers, to be honest, we almost need like a venture capitalist that'll throw 100 grand our way for cash
Yeah.
flow, because the cash flow over, 12 months is amazing. But initially, like 1 week we made $10,000 of sales of the $1,000, product.
Yep.
But because everyone's paying $25 a week, it was only 1,000 cash come in.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
there's one company apparently that might be out there that will, it's not financing your receivables,
Yep.
but what they do, but it's similar to that. So basically they'll take on, it's better than a firm or Klarna in some ways, because, well, actually, I can't say that. All I'm just saying is the mentor just suggested this could help your cash flow issues. Let's try and
Yeah.
see
There
if
you
this
go.
company's still in the business doing this. And I said,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Gotcha. Gotcha. So right now with this offer, you went through your ads, you looked at the
yeah.
data, you actually ran the numbers, and you saw the potential there. So now it's just a matter of more traffic. And then is there anything inside the actual funnel or the back end for Ascension that you're going to be optimizing? Tell me about that.
Yeah, yeah. One thing is that I would say, if you were to do strengths, weaknesses, probably weak on the evaluative call model. I haven't
Mm,
really, you know, dived into that a lot.
Yeah.
I'm just very comfortable selling the lower ticket, like meaning 2,000 or under.
Yeah.
So we have installed a salesperson, like Karina and I were taking the sales calls since January.
Yeah.
Then we tried another person last month. Yeah, didn't go so well. And also there's that extra stress of having someone to manage as well.
It's a yeah, I
So
feel like a sales manager.
yeah,
Who
yeah. Go ahead.
what is that person selling? So are they selling the 1K offer or what are they selling on the phone?
We
Is there
yeah,
another?
the 1K is our mid ticket. We have a 4,800 higher
Okay,
ticket.
cool.
And we did talk to Zach as well, but at that time he didn't have anyone available because we wanted a
Yep.
female and stuff. So for now, but again, when we looked at those numbers, like, well, then maybe we don't spend as much time on that and go
Yeah.
back to the $1,000 thing. But the back end processes that we do have dialed in, I'm really, I guess, proud of, so to say. Um, Kind of an old school thing that, gosh, high ticket sales calls for the big agency that I used to work for. I was their chief strategy officer and I brought into them Bonjourno. Hey, why don't
Mm.
you send to the people that had a call, just get on the phone and then send them a little Bonjourno video, and it goes right to their email and they go click a link and they watch the little 30-second video of you that's personalized from Bonjourno. Yeah, you can use AI right now probably to do it, but I still think there's an energy about doing it personalized. So
Oh yeah.
Karina, for every band and cart as well, because we have a 32% opt-in rate right now, like people who start the checkout, which is really,
Yep.
really strong.
For the low ticket.
Yeah, for the low ticket. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So, if only 3% of all the whole total are buying, so for every 100
Yeah.
people that visit the site, 30 people opt in, everyone, but only like 3.3 people buy. So those
Yeah.
27 people that are left, Karina tries her best. So she won't get everyone every day, but she'll do a Bonjourno video to them. Say,
Dang.
hey, and it's not like those typical lame texts that, and sorry if anyone's listening to this using it, because I've used them too in the past. It's not the lame
Yeah.
text that we're too used to now, where it says, hey, you forgot, so does the life get in the way? Like, come back and get this in your cart, and you give a link back to buy. That doesn't work anymore so well, especially
No.
to, I guess, our audience, the woman 40 to 60 years old. So what we do, as you can see, I'm just lighting up here on the follow-up. I love it. What we do
That's awesome.
also, so we send a Bonjourno video to them, but what we do also is, and also to the buyers, I think this is
Yeah.
what helps them ascend. We have our VA that we hired, like, she's $800 a month, Josh, and we hired from it's not Upwork, the Philippines site.
Oh, it's yeah, I know what you're talking about. Oh my gosh.
Oh my
It's the
goodness.
classic one. Yeah,
I
it's
know. I even know the founder because he
yeah, if I
lives in
saw it,
Utah.
I'd be like, yep.
Okay, yeah. Anyway,
Something
so
PH
yes,
jobs. Yeah.
onlinejobs.ph. Yeah.
Yes.
So Karina
Go.
had the bright idea to sort, like, I thought this was such a brilliant idea, to find a kind of not quite a full-on call setter, but kind of a call center customer service person. She sorted by IQ. You can do that on OnJob. So she
Weird.
went for the highest IQ person. And the
Yep.
woman we have, she is absolutely amazing. And so we brought her on in January, and what she does, because we mainly use ClickFunnels and ActiveCampaign as our stack, but we use Go High Level for the SMS texting and for calling, outbound calling. She calls the buyers, not to
Mm.
say, hey, want to buy this other thing, let's go.
Yeah.
All she does is say, hey, congratulations, thank you so much for getting this. We just want to make sure you got access to everything okay. And
Yeah.
that's it.
I was about to ask you if you started if you're calling them and what you're doing. So that's cool. So then
Yeah.
they say, hey, did you get access?
Yeah.
What happens after that? Are you trying to collect information, some data? Or are you just simply customer support just to wow them?
Well, we have a Facebook group too. We have now in that low ticket one thing, even though 8,000 have bought, 1,000 people are in that paid group.
Yep.
And then we have a free group that we're more active in, that's about 5,000 people in it, called Successful E-commerce Entrepreneurs. And so they kind of get more indoctrinated there from
Yep.
us. But what she will do though is she'll also maybe message them, and they often will, because we give the link, that .me link you can give out that instantly goes to your
Yep.
Facebook page to message. So you don't have to deal with all that VPN crap to have your
Yeah.
VA from Philippines log into your personal Facebook page, which is such a no-no.
Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but so they often might message us questions, so she can also message them there. So we're meeting them everywhere. And the other thing that happens often, which is kind of cool, is we really have a good, I think, dialed in video views campaigns of different types of videos to handle various, even if they bought
Mm,
various beliefs that they have or need
yep.
to block, smash down. So the 3 to 5 minute videos are mainly for just that. So we're really continuing to indoctrinate them, inspire them, because in our niche, hopeless and helpless, leaning more towards helpless, is the main emotional state they're in. Like,
Mm,
how Alan teaches the hopeless, worthless,
yeah.
and helpless. Yeah.
Yeah. So these 3 to 5 minute videos, let's talk about that. Where are you
Yeah.
posting these? Are they email in the Facebook group or in the, where do they
Yeah,
see these?
they're retargeting ads with face
Oh, they're
with
doing, okay. So you're doing
yeah,
like you
yeah, with
retarget. Okay.
Facebook and Instagram. And so we have a warm stack of audience, like with the email list of buyers, but
Yeah.
also if they interacted with their ads. So this is also getting all the abandoned cart people as well.
Yeah.
And it's again, this is where I'm a bit of a rebel when it comes to ads because I've been doing it for so long. I really believe everything plays in like a symphony. Like it's a
Mm,
retargeting ad. I'm not gonna 5 videos that are running. One maybe is one that's really hot is about shame. Karina did a
mm,
video for 3 minutes about, as females, we often feel shame about selling. But listen, you know what? And I'm Canadian, I scripted this video. But you know what? America was built by salespeople. Okay, Americans is built by entrepreneurs, and it's okay to
yeah.
sell. And so it's a real raw video.
Yeah.
Another video is for me just showing how people buy consumption things like under $100. I showed this. I said,
Yeah.
look, guys, and I unboxed it. I just bought this because it was on sale. It was like $35 online, and I bought it. And it's a 3 minute video just showing. So if you think that there's too many other boutique stores or Shopify e-com stores out there,
Yeah.
look, no, because tons of buyers like me are buying stuff like this. I don't really need it. I still haven't framed it. I've had this now for 4 months.
That's great. That's awesome. And then
So,
they're
so
probably
yeah.
thinking like, oh yeah, I do the same thing. They're probably thinking about, hey, what are things I bought recently? Right. That,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So have that trust.
Yeah, so it makes them feel for the buyers, makes them feel good about buying, and then for the non-buyers, like we're just always sort of everywhere, like it's like an instant
Yeah.
celebrity authority, credibility, status for them. And
Yeah.
again, that's where I had to go that route, I felt, because when I did run that yoga niche store, what got me so mad all the time, Josh, and you've probably
Yeah.
seen this, is where everything gets ripped off from you. Like I had
True.
this video I paid $500 for a yoga instructor because I'm into yoga, but I wanted her to do the video because she lived in Hawaii, found her on Fiverr. And I sent these yoga bracelets and necklaces to her to do like the tree pose standing on the hill by the water in Hawaii in
Yeah.
the background. So it was like literally a 30-second video doing the tree pose wearing my jewelry. Everyone stole that video and even named their Shopify store so close to my name. I was getting customer service requests for their
Oh no.
store to my people saying, hey, Maria, so and so is asking for this, but we don't have their order number. Then we realized, oh, this person just knocked off my site and my ad, stole my video.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, especially they're told that all these people come into Shopify stuff like go copy someone else's store, just like
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
So no
So
one can copy my face and Karina's face, our voice.
yeah,
Like even if they use the same video script, it's still different.
yeah,
So that's why I did that. And also as you know, like just the importance of, pre-framing,
yeah,
indoctrination, and just,
seriously.
making them feel good as well.
Yeah. So I really like this. I like this conversation on just all different ways that
Yeah.
you're essentially ascending people, building trust, both on the front end, all the way to the back end. So just to
Yeah.
break it down, what I'm hearing, just so I kind of recap all different moving
Yep.
parts and point out areas where I'm not. On the front end, with like what you're doing is you're running retargeting ads as well,
Yep.
with objection handling videos, essentially where you're,
Yep.
3 to 5 minutes long, different beliefs that you think they'll have or know they have that would
Yeah.
stop them from purchasing. With that, before we talk the other stuff, how much of your budget goes towards retargeting? Is it a percentage? You just pick a number. How much are you spending a day right now
We
just
we
on the
typically
retargeting?
we typically shoot for 20%. We have a little bit
Okay.
of, because when I work for the ad agencies, we have like kind of a
Yeah.
pro forma sheet where you can just modify it. Maybe it's 5% one day, like
Yeah.
1 month, but typically 20%. But besides objection handling videos, we do testimonial videos too. That works
Okay.
really well. And we
Testimony
use
videos.
CapCut to put it in that
Yeah.
nice format. Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah, that's how I use for all my VSLs now and stuff. It's so easy with all the
Yeah.
tools. So, okay, so you're doing that. Then let's say they purchase, they're getting a call from a virtual assistant that you found.
Yep.
That has the highest IQ, just hired her. She calls them. She says, "Hey, did you get access to everything?"
Yeah.
If they say yes, are you pushing them to a Facebook group then, or just hang
Yeah.
up, peace
Yeah.
out?
Yeah. Yeah. We asked them to join the Facebook group, and then we
Mhm.
also just ask them if they have any questions, right?
Yeah.
As well. Yep.
Yeah. Have you ever thought of using that call to collect some data on the next problem they have, like moving forward, so that you can lead them to the limitation of needing your back end? Or is it strictly just you just want to
We
use it for customer like rapport
Yeah,
and stuff?
we probably should. I think that would be a great idea. Like we do emails
Mhm.
for that, like this a little one question surveys, but once a
Okay.
month.
Okay.
And also because Korea's been doing this for over 3 years and
She
also all
knows.
those challenges where thousands of people went through,
True.
she has a pretty good feel. Like after they get going, like it's sales and traffic and it's confidence, it's mindset stuff.
Yeah. So you know at that point. Yeah. Cause
Yeah.
I remember an offer I was launching, just cold, like didn't have all that data. I would call them
Mm.
and just like do what you said. And then I'd also like ask them a question of like, so like let's say you go through this, it's working, you get the result like we promised and which you
Yeah.
should. Like, what do you feel like the next thing you run into? Just so that we know how we can support you when you get there. And then they would like tell me, and then I knew that was the next upsell to hit them with, like to create. So in case anyone
Yeah.
wants to test that, I know some people use it for things like that, but I like how yours is very just focused on just strictly, hey, customer support. And I even think about it's like how many offer owners are doing things like that. Like how many people are
Yeah.
willing to spend $800 a month just so that their customers have a better, like world class experience. I mean, big brands will do it. Amazon
Yeah.
store, like huge e-commerce brands, they'll spend so much money on customer support. They'll have people who are just replying to comments on ads. And
Yeah.
it's like, I feel like in the internet marketing space, we're so used to seeing people cut corners
Yeah.
that we don't like, we don't treat
Yeah.
this like a real, like traditional
True.
business. Like we think it's like a little make some quick money, peace out. Hey, when it's like, hey, your
No,
customers
actually, you're
matter,
right.
like your leads matter.
You're right, and I think it's because maybe they're not taught. Like I know I watched a really good video of yours on your Facebook page about just how the girls are just teaching how PLR type
Yeah.
digital products could make you money, but they don't talk about the back end and all that stuff. And I think
Yep.
a lot of people don't talk about the brand. Like
Yeah.
if they walk into
True.
this really good customer service, like we do have, like we had Christine make a really good referral series for an
Mm,
automation. We're about to launch it. I think it's like 5 or 6 emails, getting our existing customers to refer people because some of our high ticket people came in through referral. Oh, so and so's in your ecom academy, so I thought she should join. She'd love to join. Or and even some of our
yeah.
$20 buyers who didn't get into the higher ticket one are referring other people. So I'm like, why aren't we offering like $500 to people to refer us?
Yeah. Dang.
Yeah.
That's smart. It's just those little things where it's like maybe it's not gonna move like huge, instant, massive needle, but it will compound
Yeah.
over time. So I
Yeah.
love this. Even I'm mentally I'm taking notes. I'm thinking about one of the offers. I'm like, hey, what can we
Cool.
do there for like the branding? So I love this. So
Yeah.
you're calling them, boom.
Yep.
Afterwards, let's say that let's say they do buy a low ticket, they get the call. What are you doing on the email side of things? And then do you mess with SMS at all?
Yeah, yeah. Every month we have a goal to add in something new, technology or whatever. Like in January was SMS. That's what we got a Go
Oh,
High Level
sweet.
version just for SMS. Like we're zapping all the leads from Active Campaign
Yeah,
into
yeah. Hey,
Go High
there you
Level.
go.
And so yeah, we got SMS, we got the email, we have post-purchase consumption series for
Yep.
email as well. But the VA, just going back to that, she's doing more than just the customer service and I guess
Mm,
making people feel happy. She is sort of setting, but in a soft way for people. So she's often teed up if it happens to come from that connection, because please know 80-90% of the people don't answer the phone. So she's just leaving a voicemail, but she's then messaging them on the voicemail. The script is like, hey, see, you're not in, but we're also going to leave you a text as well. So she'll leave a text saying, hey, just make sure you got everything. And if she has the social handle, which she might, because they might have joined our group earlier before buying too, she'll contact them that way, and then she can tee it up for Karina. Because
mm.
yesterday, Karina sold like $400 in the DMs, like using the Go High Level thing because she's got it on her phone. And she basically Jay's teed it up. Like she kind of started the conversation, said, "Hey," and then she messaged Karina and says on WhatsApp and said, "Hey, you need to talk to so and so. I think she's ready to buy." And so she became not a $27 buyer because we increased the
Yeah.
price. She went in that funnel and bought like $300 worth of stuff just
Dang.
that last night. Yeah.
Dang. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. Are you doing anything within the product itself for Ascension? Like on the low ticket product, is there anything strategic you're doing in terms of just the content
Yeah, I
that's
think we
helping
need,
lead people?
yeah, I think we need to be better at that.
Okay.
I know I love how Alan has the 7-day fast start series, so we don't
Yeah.
have that on our page. But again, because we have them in the group and we're just
Yep. It's
like,
kind of happening. It's
yeah,
like,
and people are sharing their
what
wins, you know?
what are you doing in the free group? Because with one of our offers,
Yeah.
we have a Facebook group. I've done Facebook groups. I've noticed, of course, the reach is just so
Oh, it's
iffy.
terrible.
Like it's horrible. So I'm always like, like I don't put a ton of effort into it, but I also see the group being valuable as like a status point or like
Yeah.
credibility,
Yeah.
especially in the female market, like how many people they've helped, or like you can say, hey, we have a group of
Yeah.
this many people,
Yeah.
right? But what are you doing from a content standpoint? Like, what's your bare minimum, knowing that the reach isn't that good? What do you
Yeah.
do just because it's there?
Well, because the reach isn't good anymore, we stopped our VA. We have like for half of that amount from the Philippines, someone doing just more like social media posts, or was. Now he's
Okay,
more on YouTube and CapCut. I taught him how to do the videos on CapCut. But
nice.
because they're so bad, it was when he was posting inspirational quotes into both the paid group and the free group of 5,000 people, it got shitty reach and excuse the language there. And
There you
it
go.
was and
You're
what was
good.
happening, yeah, and what was happening is that then the important posts, like say Karina or I would do an interview with someone who made their first sale, and it
Yeah,
might only be a 3-minute video, by the way, not like, an hour video. That's the other thing, that like, we don't do hour videos anymore in the Facebook group. We put them on Zoom. We'll just link them to
nice.
Zoom. But we still do the 2-step hand raiser posts in the group, but they don't work as well. Like for context, 5,000 person group, right? You do the 2-step hand raiser post, and if you have a good one, maybe it'll reach 800 people out of the
Yeah,
5,000.
that's
Yeah,
big.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like we
But
have like a
yeah,
12K one, and like a good one will be
yeah.
like 15, like 1,500, like
Yeah.
maybe,
Yeah. And the average ones will make only 173, 200 post reach, right? But we do use reverse organic where we'll email them out. Like actually,
Yep.
we're actually doing a little, what we call a blitz. We're going to be selling, because women love lower price stuff. So tomorrow is exactly 6 months from Black Friday. So tomorrow only, and we already tease them on a few posts, and we send an email then to the Facebook group post so they see that there too. Was a, hey, we're having this big sale, 50% off to do a traffic 3-day blitz with you. And because we're 6 months from Black Friday, you're going to get a 50% off Black Friday deal.
That's awesome. That's
And they
great.
had to
Yeah, they always need
comment.
some reason.
Yeah. And they had to comment to get the discount. Yeah. Yeah. The classic thing, because we're six
Yeah.
months from Black Friday.
That's great. That's crazy. Okay,
Yeah.
so as we kind of wrap this up here too, I want
Yeah.
to talk about what do you at a day-to-day basis managing all, you have all these moving parts, there's so many things to be optimizing. I was talking to my buddy, it's like we think, offer ownership, there are so many pros to it.
Yeah.
But then, think about somebody who comes from just doing copy. It's like, okay, their goal, they go in a doc, they write the copy, send it over, it's done, right? It's like,
Yeah.
responsibility's done. You move to offer ownership, maybe publishing. Like I'm over here, I'm like, we're tweaking or looking at all these stats and tweaking the VSL. Okay, the setter, then I gotta go in the funnel. Then how are my ads doing? Okay, now our ads, bomb today. Is that
Yeah.
because you're like, now I
Yeah.
gotta get this software. So like, how do you manage that? And then on a day-to-day basis, like what are the things that are like non-negotiable that just happen every single day and aren't those like one-off things that come out of nowhere when something breaks? Like what are you doing on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, great question. Well, the biggest one is I will still touch base with Karina on a daily
Okay.
basis.
Yep.
And we will typically, sometimes the meeting has no agenda, and all productivity coaches would say this is so wrong what we do. But she's secondary profile creative. So we will just come up with amazing ideas though. So we'll meet probably for 20 minutes to half an hour, unless we come up with some amazing thing and we stay on for 2 hours. Like today, we met and we're like, why aren't we doing messenger ads? Like why don't
Yeah.
we get going with that? Because we now have someone pretty trained on it.
Yeah.
So that 20-minute meeting normally ended up being like almost an hour and a half, because we had to do script out the whole thing and what the ad's going to be, what's the copy, what's the hook and the
Yeah.
giveaway. So that's meeting with Karina, just almost like the daily pulse of the business, and we'll go over numbers, and then I don't test and well, I'd still test and tweak ads, but it not as much anymore, because I also, and I
Mm.
learned this from that client that I took their funnel to $1 million. With Facebook the way it works sometimes, like rather than have, and everyone's different, I get it, because I really believe every ad account's different too, is
Mhm.
that we sometimes like to just do like more money on one ad set to let the computer and the algorithm do its work. Cause you know how they want to see at
Yep.
least 25, conversion
Yep.
events that day, or sorry, that week
Yep.
in 7 days. And now it's like almost 50 conversion events.
Yeah.
But so instead of doing like three ad sets at $100, which I know some people do and they have success at, and we'd
Yep.
still test sometimes for that, but we will typically go, let's just do, $400 to one ad set with the winning
Mhm.
creative combinations. We usually
Mm.
start with dynamic creative to kind of test, see what the winning images and headlines would be, and then
Yeah.
we'll go out. So I feel the ads don't, it's almost like the less we touch the ads, the better they do, which sounds weird
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
trust me, I have friends who run ads for like huge, like one of my friends runs ads for Stu McLaren and like hundred thousands, whatever. I have friends that still run ads for big name players, but um, and some are different. One will be like, oh no, I'm in there like for 2 hours a day and I'm being really aggressive. I'm turning stuff off if it has a low CTR. My threshold is only $30. If it spends over $30 that new ad, boom, I'm turning it off. Whereas, my other,
Yeah.
which I lean more towards her style, is like, no, let Facebook do its thing and,
Yeah.
run like $400 of that one ad set, or do a campaign that's at $1,000 and have like three or four ad sets in it. And as CBO at the campaign level, so that'll find the best ad set that is winning at
Yeah.
that time. So
Yeah.
everyone's different, but yeah, so I would say honestly, I only check ads probably every 3 days now, which is
Nice.
yeah. Um,
Yeah.
except for at the beginning. At the beginning, when you're trying to
Mhm.
find the winning ad set, then it's like every day.
True. Yeah, you're
Um,
like checking in.
yeah,
But
yeah. I'm also sort of a like networking as well, like because you
okay.
never know what's gonna happen. So, like today, I had three different calls, and when I say going to happen, like you just don't know who you meet that might that next big thing for our audience. And so, like the other day, I met someone who actually knew me from a Frank Kern event from like 12 years ago, Josh, and he just out of the blue yesterday said, hey, I see you in Alan's group and like you're really having good success. And and he turns out to be a cosmetic skincare manufacturer, like so sort of like private label but a little more high quality.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, our woman, like, we've set up over 2,420 Shopify stores for people, and we have all this 8,000 low ticket buyers of information. They might want to do this, or maybe we want to take to our 8,000 women on our list of buyers, not like just freebie lists
Yeah.
that I knew, and I'm already thinking, and again, I always think of the world of abundance, and I don't think anyone's like gonna, oh, I'm gonna steal her idea, make $1 million from it, because it's about executing it, and I don't know if I'll even execute it. But right away, I said to him, oh, I would love to create like a really cool skin care line or lotion, moisturizer, maybe with blueberry in it or something, targeted
Yeah.
just to women in menopause.
Mm,
Like I'm like, oh, so that's what I
that's
mean.
awesome.
So yeah, I do
Yeah.
get a lot of people like, and next week I'm on a phone with someone from like 4 years ago. So like I always try to do these little calls.
That's cool.
So yeah, and then what other non-negotiable meditation,
Okay.
visioning, whether it's some of Alan's videos that I watch or something. I
Yep.
like about an hour every day of education. I can't sit for 3 hours to watch a
No,
recording.
yeah. I know. That's people always ask like in this calls, like, how do you sit them live? I'm like, no, like only
Yeah,
some like today I was on one for like 2 hours, but I had in the background editing my VSL. Like I'm
yeah,
like, if it's a
yeah,
call I really want, but like, yeah, I'm like, I'd rather spend that time when your like brain is like ready to go on like writing
yeah,
copy or coming with creative ideas. And then
yeah,
maybe if I'm at the gym, I'll put it on or I'm driving, like, okay,
yeah,
learn then because you got to use that time to go
yeah,
build some funnels. You like that stuff is going to drain you too. So you got to like, you got to
yeah,
pick. So yeah,
yeah.
that's very
And
interesting.
and the other non-negotiable, because when I don't do it, I'm not as happy that day. I do like to do something creative. So whether it be like new graphics for something for an ad, or
Mm,
whether it be like, because we do have a 10K higher offer that we just sell through email. We have like a 3-day email series we run about once every month and a half.
yep,
And we do more done for you for them. So we do like a hybrid model where a digital product on their Shopify store that helps
yep,
sell their physical based products, right? So,
yeah,
the classic Boom by Cindy Joseph style, where they do a 5 tips for anti-aging thing, right? And one of the tips happens to be going to the moisturizer, but ours is more like a $3, $5 ebook. So one
Mm,
woman's in the faith-based Shopify store and faith-based stuff, print on demand, and necklaces, jewelry, drop shipping as well. But I'm like, oh, why don't you teach about women in confidence and reference certain sections of the Bible,
yeah.
because she's a teacher herself. So
Yep.
she loved that idea. So some of it's also on delivery. So there's definitely,
Mm,
I have scheduled in my calendar 2 hours every afternoon for delivery.
nice.
Whether I stick
Nice.
fully to the 2 hours, I'm gonna be honest, like today's a really nice day and I, you know,
You probably do, yeah.
take the dog for a walk, but
Yeah.
still, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, sweet man. This is huge. I love calls like these where even I am able to like I feel like I'm on just a call, like consulting call, like learning stuff. And so this was super fun. I feel like the big takeaway from watching this is really on just the things that you can do with the ascension. Like if I were to have to like
Yeah.
title this, like I feel like a lot of what we talked about here is how to actually build a relationship with your buyers
Yeah.
to get them to buy more of your stuff and
Yeah.
like to
Yeah.
ascend them effectively, as well as just ways to approach partnerships and what you do on a day to day. So if you were to ask
Thank
me,
you.
my biggest takeaway was that, and thank you so much. Like that is
Thank you.
really cool to hear. And
Yeah.
yeah, guys, like if you're in the low ticket toolkit, watch this. If you have any questions, feel free to tag Marie. I'm sure she's more than happy to let you more details. And let's congratulate her as well below, just on all her success and everything she's doing. And Marie, I just thank you so much for taking an hour out of your day just
Thank
to
you.
jump on here and share your story.
It was fun. Thank you so much, Josh.
All right, guys. Well, if you enjoyed this episode of the Offer Owner Spotlight series, make sure to drop a like if you're watching this on YouTube. If you'd like to get these videos a week to 2 weeks earlier, make sure to join our Skool community where you'll find more of these videos along with a bunch of other tools to help you launch your offers faster. And if you have a story that you'd love to share and you feel like would inspire other people that were once in your shoes, feel free to message me. And our next episode is going to be with a guy named Eric, who just crossed the 24K day with his low ticket offer on the back end. And so we have more stuff coming up. But Maria, this is so fun. Happy to have you on, and we'll talk soon.
All right. Thanks, Josh.
Peace.